What's up guys, it's Drac and this is a box. So inside this box are all of the wonders and answers and mysteries of the Nerfy universe. I'm just kidding. Inside this box is what appears to be a full set of printed blaster parts from Blasterforge. So, Blasterforge makes a variety of different blasters. I know that he's famous for doing multi-flywheel setups with anywhere from like 4 to 6 different motor setups. He's made the Aurora in the past, but he calls this the Micro. And what it essentially is I think it's his take on the Retaliator style platform. And it is another entry into this fully 3D printed blaster space. And it's a pretty cool one, in all honesty. So, we're going to have to take this apart and do some assembly, but this appears to be the front barrel option, and it's got a priming bar built into it with aluminium rod. These are ball bearings attached to screws which let it roll in this almost drawer-like setup on the side here. Very interesting there. This is the blaster itself. Seems like something's rattling around inside here. His print quality is not bad. It's a little nicer than Captain Slug's and a little under what we do in our workshop personally, but it seems like there's a full set of internals in here. There's been a lot of hardware already pre-installed. This looks like it's most of the way there, and then inside here we're going to have our internals set. So it looks like inside here we have all sorts of stuff. This could be a barrel? I have no idea. Or a guide. Here's what appears to be a muzzle brake, a bunch of springs, a bunch of screws, and what appears to be a plunger of some sort. And as much of this that can be 3D printed is 3D printed. While all of the hardware is proprietary to his region of the world, it should be pretty easy since it's all been provided to get it together. Box 2 of 2. What could this possibly be? So, this is the stock. That's pretty neat. So this is going to be really easy to install. I'm sure that this just goes on like that and locks in and down. Handle's pretty comfy, trigger pull seems a little soft, a little weird, and this magazine release here is also a little funky, but true to form, it is very micro. For a full-size primary, this is going to be very small, about as small as it can be. Let's get to work. Alrighty guys, so the weather in Georgia is pretty rough right now, but this actually isn't. This is not bad. Now, I didn't really have any expectations for this. I've heard good things about Blasterforge products. I've heard some pretty bad things about Blasterforge products, and that's everybody, realistically. But we threw a worker stock on it, which might be a little sacrilegious just because without the worker stock, it's actually really, really compact, like very small. But with the worker stock on, it becomes significantly more comfortable. I thought this magazine release would be weird. If I prime it real quick and pull this out, I should be able to show you here. Well, it seems to be stuck right now. So the bottom line is that I did have some issues with the Breech. If you take a look here at the Breech, you can see that the way that this seats back fully primed, there's almost no room for full-length darts. However, with a Katana magazine and adapter in here, it's doing work. So it's got full travel 4 half lengths and pushes them up into that 3D printed barrel. So let's throw Steven out here. And sorry, Steven. So the trigger is a little crisp, partially because of that lever action, but overall this is not a bad blaster. It's actually getting pretty mean performance. I don't understand that. Like, there's parts about it that are really, really cool, but there's parts about it that are absolutely jank. Like the fact that this just comes off and seems to be friction fitted into the front. Like, this part is almost entirely unnecessary. In fact, we can go ahead and slide it in our mag pouch back here, but we're going to crony it for you just a couple of times over this crony. I think that right now we are firing just standard worker Steffens. 143. Error. 121. Error. They are firing well. Okay, so that's one empty Katana mag. Whoops. We'll throw one more in. Again, these are all just like basic worker darts from my personal stockpile. 122. 105. So it's not super consistent because of that 3D printed barrel, but If we back up a little bit, we'll shoot some for distance down this way over the shoulder, because I just want you to see like how this flies. So the stroke is really small on it. Like, this is not a lot, but the ball bearings are relatively comfortable, and we're definitely breaking 100-foot ranges even though that FPS is low. Just a really weird setup. I actually don't want to fire this dart. This is a special Explorer dart from my Uncle Hing, so if I shot it into the woods I would miss it an awful lot. We'll go ahead and put those away. Man, they're just all so many X darts in here. This is the problem with loading Do-Re-Mi mags. Alright, and then down at the bottom underneath those worker darts, we have some of the really cheap ones. But firing relatively straight, and we had our first jam just there. But it's a 3D printed bolt, so you gotta be really careful. You can see that this dart rolled up underneath there. So is it a perfect system? No. Does it really like the Jet Katana adapter? Absolutely it does. Without the Jet Katana adapter in here, it's actually pretty rough to fire the full lengths, but it's delivering the hits. Like, this is a very cool alternative to a Prophecy or a Caliber. Like, that shot was awesome for something this small. If only my Katana magazines had better springs. Woo! So it's firing very straight. It's like surprisingly good. So I can give this one a huge thumbs up. Like, the Blasterforge MICRO, the print quality is okay. The overall construction seems janky at first with multiple levers and a very interesting magazine release. However, once tuned and you throw a stock on it, like, it's actually pretty good. It's surprisingly good. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's a look at the Blasterforge MICRO. It's really their Springer offering. I don't know what you would call it necessarily. It's a Prophecy, it's a Caliber, and it's a full-size Retaliator reshell that's entirely 3D printed, and it really likes half-length darts. But I wanted to share it with you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at it, and as always, much love, Nerf on, Drac out.